Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be making a portrait financial planner using Keynote. So if you're ready to learn how to make a wonderful portrait planner, stay tuned to this video. So in this video, I'm going to be using a lot of tables, different tables. If you're someone who doesn't know how to use tables, I honestly have been using it so much in all of my newer planners. So it's really helpful to make planners. I'm going to show you how to use them. And I hope that you can follow along and understand each step so that you can make your own portrait planner. All right, let's get started. Step 1, create your planner base. Okay, first we're going to go into Keynote. So we're gonna start from scratch. We're gonna click on Create Presentation, choose a theme, click on Basic White, and this is what your presentation will look like. And we're going to erase all the things that we do not need. So you're gonna hold down, drag, with your Apple Pencil, hold down, and you're gonna see like a little blue box form. You're gonna drag down and then let go and delete everything on that page, right? So that's hold down with your Apple Pencil. You're gonna see a little blue box and you're gonna drag, then let go. And it should select everything on that page and you just click delete. Make sure in your settings, by the way, when you go to the 3 dots here, you go to settings, make sure that your Apple Pencil is select and scroll is on. And that will help you to not draw. Because if you turn this off, your Apple Pencil will tend to draw, as you can see, yeah. This is probably the #1 question I always get on my YouTube channel, so yes, this is how you fix it. All right, so now we're going to go into Edit Slide Layout. So tap the screen and click on Edit Slide Layout, and we are going to delete all of these extra slides that we do not need. All we need is that blank page at the bottom, so I'm gonna keep that. So just tap on the slide and delete. So now we're left with our blank slide, but we want portrait mode, not landscape. So we can't turn it around. The way that we're gonna have to do it is by changing the settings. So click on Done at the top left to go back to your presentation mode. Click on the presentation name, go to Presentation Options, click on Presentation Setup, and now at the very bottom you'll see it says Theme and Slide Size. That is what we're looking for. So click on that, and as you can see, there's many different options. We have 3x4, which is also a form of portrait mode. But what I like to do is actually put in the numbers for the width and the height. So what I usually use is 700 points by 900 points to make a portrait mode planner. Now click on Done, and you go back to your presentation. So now we have a portrait planner base. Step 2, plan out the look and feel of your layout. Since this is a financial planner, I'm going to keep it really simple and just with a monthly view and a weekly view. So for our planner, let's try to mimic that same design. Here's a quick tip. To change the name of your presentation, go ahead and click on the very top left where it says Presentation 7 for me. It might say Presentation 1, 2 for you, and you'll see it drop down a list. Click on Rename and go ahead and type in the name that you want this planner to be. Step 3, let's design our cover. For this planner, we're going to keep it super simple. So we're just going to click on the very top where you have the shapes, the circle and the square. Click on that and choose a square shape. Now I have a little square right here, so I'm just going to stretch it out, going down and towards the right. And we're going to change it, fix it to make it look like a book, like you're opening a journal or you're opening like a real planner. So stretch it out, and we're going to click on that little paintbrush at the top right. Click on Style, click on Fill, and change the color to whatever you like. I'm going to choose pink because that's like my favorite color. And I'm going to stretch it out just to the very edge on the left side and keep a little bit of space on the right side. Now we're going to make another square. Click on that shapes icon, click on a square again, and stretch it out all the way down and all the way towards the right. And we're going to make this white. This one is going to be filled white to do like a background, like a book, like really look like pages. Then we're going to add shadow. So make sure you're on Style, click on Shadow, and click the shadow that works for you. I'm going to use this for now, see how it goes. Now we're gonna put this page at the back. So click on the square, the white square, go to the paintbrush, click arrange, and you see this little slider? Move it all the way to the left. That moves it back. Moving it towards the right puts it towards the front. Okay, so we're gonna move it towards the back of our cover. And as you can see here, look, it looks like you have a little page over there. And so you can repeat this as many times as you want. I'm just gonna do it another time and just add a square, or you can just copy and paste the last one. Just like I did, it will keep the exact same settings, the exact same color and shadow. And then we're just going to click on that shape, go to arrange again and place it towards the back. You can put it in the middle, you can put it in the back. And as you can see here, now it really looks like a book. But we still got a little bit of more work to do. Our cover is still looking a little bland. So what you want to do is go back to the shapes, click on square once again, and we're going to make like a really, really skinny, slim, rectangle looking thing. This is going to be our shadow. Like, you know, when you have that crease in the binding of the book or whatever you would call it, we're going to try to mimic that. So use a black rectangle. And what we're gonna do is change the settings to really make it look like shadowing. So what I do is I use the opacity setting under style and I slide it all the way back. And you can see it's already starting to look 3D. You can also add shadow. You can, fix and play with the opacity until it's to your liking. You could even add other shapes to make it really look more like a book, but I'm just gonna keep it really, really simple. Next, we're going to add a little square. Once again, I feel like I've used like a million squares already. And make sure you turn on your guides again. Go ahead and place that shape right in the middle of the page. And let's change it to white. I'm going to change it to white. And this is going to be where you write in what the planner is. You can put finance planner, financial planner, but I like when it has, this little, I don't even know what you call it, a title page. I don't even know what you call it. I guess a title page, or title box in there. Like the composition notebooks, they always have like that little box. What is it called? Comment down below. I don't know the name. While I was busy chatting, I also added a line so that you can write on. So that's pretty easy. You just go into the shapes, you add a line right in there. Also, you can add shadow if you want. You can change the settings however you'd like. Now we're going to select all. Remember to hold down and drag, select all the shapes and click group. Then we're gonna cut and place in the edit slide layout section. Wait a second, wait a moment. Didn't I just cut these out and delete them? Annoying. Take two. Like I was saying, we're gonna go into the edit slide layout and we're going to paste the cover in here. So before we even do that, click on that slide and go to rename. We're gonna rename it cover, obviously, because that's what it's gonna be. Once you've renamed it, go ahead and tap and paste. What I love about Keynote is that it always pastes in place. So wherever you cut it, it's gonna paste it exactly in the same place. Cover done, that was easy. Now let's go ahead and add a second page. So we're just gonna duplicate and we're going to keep it as like a blank page. It's going to be our guide for the next few pages. So we're just gonna name it pages and then click on done. And at the bottom left, click on add a slide. We're going to add our pages slide. We're going to work on the presentation section. I like working on this section because it's clear, it's empty, there's no links or shapes that are going to confuse us. So we're just going to work on this for now. Step 4, let's make tabs. Once again, we're using handy dandy rectangles. So we're going to add a whole bunch of rectangles. Go ahead and click on the shapes at the top, click on rectangle, and we're going to go ahead and make these white rectangles and add some shadowing as well to make them pop. Once you've made a rectangle that you like the size of, what you're gonna do is copy and paste until you create 12 tabs. You can place them right next to each other like I'm doing, or you can overlap them. It's up to you. And I'm going to just put them towards the side until they fit the planner size that I have exactly. So you wanna highlight and select all and group it and move it to the side. When you highlight and group, it really allows you to change the size of the tabs to match the planner size. So if I just move the little blue circles, I can make them taller, wider, whatever I need to make sure that it's perfect. Here's another quick tip. If you want to change the style, you can just ungroup it by going to the paintbrush, clicking on arrange and ungroup, and you can change the color of all of the tabs all at once. There's also another option to change them just by leaving them grouped. And what you'll do is tap on that group, then double click on the actual rectangle that you want. So I'm gonna do it here. I'm gonna tap on the group and I'm gonna double tap on the shape. And while I'm in this group, I can tap on any single one of the tabs to change their settings. So let's say I wanna change the color of one of my tabs, just one. I'm clicking on that one tab and I go to the paintbrush, click on style, and I change it to pink. I'm still in the group, but that one tab is pink. So if you want to change all the tabs colors together, you can do that. Or if you want to do one by one, you can do that within the group. So that's just a really nice quick tip. Okay, so now that I'm done with that, we're going to add the months to this with some text. So go to the shapes icon once again and click on text. When you click on the text, you're going to see a little box that shows up in the middle of your screen. And I'm just gonna write January, Jan. Once you're selected on that, click on text, and you can look at our paragraph styles. This one is caption. We're gonna choose the style that we want. I'm gonna just use this one, DTC, and I'm going to also change the size of it. You can change whatever you want in here, and you can also choose to rotate the text in arrange. So I want it to be sideways like this. So that's what we're gonna do. And then all you have to do is click on update. That way anything that has the caption paragraph style will remain in that same font. In the center, it will be in that same size. Everything will remain the same. All these settings will remain the same. So this is really helpful when you have a very full-length planner. So now that we've created January, we're just going to copy and paste and change the letters so that it matches that month. So we're gonna have February, March, April, May until we end the tabs all the way down to December. Now you wanna click and drag and select all. You're gonna see a button that says select objects. Click on that and go to the top and click that background tabs group. Then go to the bottom and click done. Go to arrange, and what we're gonna do is align our names or our text. So click on this middle button right here. This centers everything towards the center. And also go ahead and click on vertically. This spaces them out evenly vertically. So now everything is nice and straight and you didn't have to move anything using the guides, going up and down. It does all that for you automatically. Now what we want to do is make sure that we place everything into the edit slide layout section so that we do not have to keep repeating it over and over again when we make our planner pages. All we'll have to do is just add a new slide and click on pages. So right now, if I click on pages, it's going to be completely blank. That means every time I click on pages, I'll have to also add in the tabs, add in the hyperlinks eventually. That's too much work. We got to make it easy on ourselves. So what we're going to do instead is go to the edit slide layout. So I'm going to cut these tabs and paste them in the edit slide layout section. That way it'll be super easy for us in the long run when we're making our planner pages. Wonderful. So now we have our cover and our pages with tabs. So when we go back to the presentation section, when I now click on the add a slide button, you can see that when I click on pages, it already has the tabs included. So that's what we want to see. Step number 5. Let's now add in an index and a welcome page and also plan out where we want our monthly pages to be. So what I'm going to do here is add in a text box that says index and one that says welcome. You can put it in any order that you want. It is up to you. And actually, I'm going to put welcome as the second slide, and index will be the third slide. So I'm gonna just switch that around, and we're going to do our fourth slide as January. Okay, so I'm just switching that around because I want welcome to be first, and then I want index to be next, and then we're going to add a slide and it's going to say January. So go ahead and do that right now. Okay, step number 6. This is super exciting and also a bit complicated, but trust me, all the steps are gonna be worth it. I'm gonna show you how to make highlighted tabs. So I wanna give the effect that we're actually clicking on a tab or turning a tab page or something like that. Rather than just clicking it and it stays the same color, I wanna change the color of each tab. So when I click on January, all the pages that are in January, the monthly view, the weekly view, they're all highlighted in one color. So I'm gonna show you how to do that, and we're going to make it super simple by doing it in the edit slide layout, so we only have to do it a few times instead of doing it over and over again. And you know, like I always say, God forbid you make a mistake and you gotta change all the pages. I'm gonna show you the easy way to do this. So first thing you wanna do, make sure that you're in the edit slide layout section. You'll know that by that blue highlighted at the top. And you're going to duplicate that pages slide. We're gonna name it January. So January's tab is going to be highlighted. So you wanna select, remember how I showed you how to select in a group? Click on that group and double click on one of the tabs. Now that the first tab is selected, click on that paintbrush and go to Style. Change the color to whatever you'd like it to be. So I'm gonna use a pink color since the cover of my page is pink, and I want a pink finance planner. So here we go, we have one of the tabs is pink. When we go to the pages slide, we see that it's all white tabs, and that's what we want. So everything is looking good so far. We're going to duplicate that pages tab, click and slide down to bring it after January, rename it February. Then we're going to click on the group of tabs, double click on the February tab, click on the paintbrush icon, go to Style, go to Fill, change the color. A quick tip, if you want a custom color, click on Fill, click on Color, and slide towards the left. You have a color wheel and past colors that you've already chosen at the bottom. What we're gonna do is continue to follow these steps until we reach all the way down to December. So we have January so far and February done. Let's continue. And boom, we're done. You're gonna see the beauty of these highlighted tabs once we add in our hyperlinks. The next thing that we should do before we even go to the next step is test our tabs. So we wanna make sure that January is highlighted when we click on the January page, February is highlighted when you click on February, so on and so forth. So just check. This is one very important thing to do as you go along so you can catch any mistakes. Once you're done checking, click on Done, and we're gonna go back to our presentation section. Select the January page. When you click on the slide and then you go to the paintbrush, you are going to see a part that says Layout. Click on that. It says Pages underneath, but we need it to say January. So click on the January page, and now we have our highlighted tab for January. Step 7, create a monthly layout. Near the play button, click on that table icon and click a blank table. We're going to add our monthly layout right on this January page. Select the table and click on the very bottom, those 3 lines, and you see a number pop up. We want to add 6 rows, okay? And then on those little lines as well at the top right of your table, you want to click on that to add your columns, and we are going to add 7 of those. The 7 columns will account for the 7 days of the week, and the 6 rows will account for 5 weeks, as well as the written title for each of the days of the week. So you'll see as we go along what I'm talking about. So what I'm doing now is going to change the paragraph style of the word January. So you want to select the word January and go to paragraph style, and we're going to select quote. And we're going to change the font to something more fancy, more script-like. It could be whatever you want, whatever you enjoy. And we're going to center it on the slide. And we are going to change the sizing. We're going to you can change the color. You can change anything you want to change about the word January. So go ahead and do that now. The table is appearing a little bit too light on screen, so I'm going to go ahead and change the settings to make it darker. Select the table, go to Paintbrush, under the tab Cell, go to Cell Border, and of course you can change the color to whatever color you want. You can also change the width of the line or change the line type. I'm going to be changing all the line colors to black, so at the very top right, when you click on that box, it changes all of the lines all together. So you can choose what lines you want to change. But for the purposes of this video, I want you guys to see exactly what I'm doing in the table. So I've made all the lines darker. Okay, let's pause for a second. I have a design flaw that is killing me and I need to fix it. I'm gonna go to the edit layout section, and you see this shadow right here? It's not appearing the way I want it to. So I'm going to go ahead and add a square so that it is another white page on top of the tabs. It's as if the tabs are on top of a book rather than the tabs being inside the book. It's just so minor, but I need to fix it. So the way I'm gonna fix it is just by adding a white square shape, and that's going to go ahead and cover it up. You can also add shadow to that square, which is what I'm gonna do because I feel like it looks way better when you add that in. So this is what it looks like before any changes. And this is after I add the white square to cover the tab shadows. This is more of a clean look. I still want to add shadow, but I want the shadow to appear like the pages above the tab. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'm going to show you the difference. So this is what I want it to look like. So you can do a cleaner look with just that square on top of the tab shadows, just like this, or you can add a little bit of shadow to that square like this. So I like it like this. That's why I'm gonna keep it, and I'm gonna copy this square with those settings on each of the monthly pages. All right, let's get back to our monthly layout. I'm gonna hit that play button to look at my beautiful creation real quick. All right, let's get back to business. So we are going to fill in our monthly calendar. So this is the same calendar that we will be copying for the entire finance planner. So however you want it to look for your monthly view, this is how we are going to do the changes. We're going to change every setting using that paintbrush icon at the very top. So select your table, and let's first start with our first row. Here's another quick tip. To adjust the size of your row, select the number 1 in this case, and you see there's 3 lines at the bottom of that number 1. You can hold and drag, and this will decrease the size of that row or increase it depending how you drag. So we want it to be smaller. We don't need it to be that big. We're gonna write in the days of the week. So like I said, you can start, do this planner exactly how you want it to be, but I'm starting it on a Monday. So if you wanna start on a Sunday, feel free. So we're just gonna write in all the days of the week. And once we're done writing all the days, we're going to select that top row and change the font. So select the row by clicking on the number 1. Now we're gonna select the paintbrush, and under cell, we're gonna change the font. So the font can be whatever you'd like it to be. I'm gonna keep it really simple. I'm using a Quicksand font. It's a Google font, and change the sizing to whatever is comfortable for you. And now we're going to change the way that our border looks, our cell border. So remember I showed you this section before. We actually are now going to remove the borders. So if you go to border style or line type, you can click on no border or none and select the lines that you do not want to show. So in my case, I don't want the top line to show, the right and the left side lines to show. So sometimes you may make a mistake when you unselect the table. It's very easy to fix. Just go back to cell border and select that line, and just under cell style or line type, click on selected styles. Now let's fix the sizing of our rows and columns. So click on row number 2 and you see that little blue button in the middle? Go ahead and click and drag that down to select all of the rows. Then what we're gonna do is click on the paintbrush and go to table. Underneath rows and columns, click on row and column size. We're going to change the height. So once you have everything selected and you click on the plus and minus button, you will be able to change the size and make everything even. So we want to make it a little bit smaller. We don't want it to fill the entire page because we still want the bottom page to have like a note section or an empty section. So I'm just going to measure it out, do some trial and error until I find the right size. So the table height that worked for me was 100. So you can choose whatever you'd like, but for me, I worked with 100, and I think that leaves me enough space at the bottom for a little note section. So for that note section that I've been talking about, we're going to add another table. So by this point, I think you've realized that I'm like addicted to making tables, but it's just the way to go, you know? So in this table, we only need one column, and we're going to select a certain amount of rows to really make this look nice. So I'm just going to style it and let you guys see what I do. You guys can make this table any way that you'd like. It is all up to you. You can change the colors as I showed you before. You can change the fill if you want the fill to be gray. Everything is under your control. So have fun with it. Be creative and do whatever it is that you want to do with your table. So what we're gonna do now is remove the side lines of this table. So go to the paintbrush, make sure you're under cell, and go to cell border. We're gonna choose the left side line, go to border type, and select no border. Then we're going to go to the right side, select the right line, go to either line type or cell border, and click none. Okay, so now it is removed. Now we just have lines for our notes. Perfect. Now go back to the shapes icon and select text. We're going to write in notes. I'm gonna move the word down a teeny bit, and I'm going to add a little bit of a design element to this table. So I'm going to select these lines and go to cell and then cell border. And I'm going to make these lines, the middle lines, a lighter color. And then what I'm gonna do is the top line, I'm gonna make it a darker color. So I'm also changing the color and the width to try to get the look that I'm looking for, and this is it. I'm in love with this note section, and we've got one more thing to do before we move on to the next step, and that is adding the little squares or circles to add dates. So this is an undated planner. We want to add a little section in each square so that somebody can write in the dates or type in the dates. So to make sure that as we are adding our date boxes, that things don't move around on our page, we're going to select all the things on our page, group them, then cut, go to the edit slide layout and paste into January. So this is just going to assure that when we're adding the date boxes, that things aren't shifting over to the side and messing up our flow. So now you're gonna add the date boxes in the presentation section. So the way that I usually do this is add in a square. But if you know, you know, I always have an easy way to do things. I am not about to sit here and add a square into every single box in this table. We're going to make it easy on ourselves. So we're going to do the first box. As you can see here, I have the box more like a square shape. I don't want to make it too rectangular. And we're going to change the fill to white. We're going to add a border and make it really cute, exactly the way that we want it to be. So make sure that the box is, has all the settings that you want, okay, first of all. Then what we're going to do is take that box, click on it, copy it, and paste it down the column. So what I'm doing here is going down each and every single row of Monday and pasting in the box. So I'm pasting it exactly where I want it to go. And if you see that the guides are annoying you, remember, go to the three dots, go to settings, and remove those guides. Once everything is to your liking, select all of the boxes, click on the paintbrush, go to align and distribute, and make sure everything is lined up, then group all the boxes. Then you're going to tap on that group. Remember to turn the guides on. They're going to be very important in this step. And we're going to copy this group into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and so on until we reach the end of the week. So once you've selected that group, copy it and paste. Then make sure it aligns to the day of the week. As we're going along, make sure that every box is aligned exactly where you want it to go. This is the time to check, double check, and triple check because we're going to be copying the same template for every month. Now select all those boxes and group those boxes. So now it's all in one piece. It looks good so far, you guys. So the next thing that we're gonna do is add week 1, week 2 at the side of our monthly calendar. So this is up to you. You do not have to add this, but I like to add it so that I can click on it to get to my weekly layout. So I'm just changing the rotation. I want it to be sideways, and I'm gonna put week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 until we get to week 5. And then we're going to copy and paste and then change the number until we get to 5. And then once we're done, we're going to select all those text boxes, click on the paintbrush, go to arrange, and then align them vertically and in the center so that they're all evenly spaced. Once everything is to your liking, select everything on the page, so that would include the text boxes and the small boxes that you put in your calendar. So cut, go into Edit Slide Layout, and paste. Click on the word January, go to Select Objects. Then you want to click on your text box and the boxes for the calendar. At the bottom, click Done and then click Group. Now everything you created is stuck together. Now we're going to separate the word January. We're going to click and then double click on that word, cut, go back into the presentation section by clicking Done at the top left and pasting it into our January slide. This is going to change often, so we do not need it in the Edit Slide Layout section. I know it's a lot of back and forth just now, but trust the process. It's going to be a beautiful planner. Now what we're gonna do is, while we're in the Edit Slide Layout section, create our weekly layout. Step number 8. So we are going to go ahead and click on the January slide and click Duplicate. We want both of those slides to be the same because they have the highlighted January tab. Click on that slide and then click Rename. We're gonna rename it January Weekly. Once you're done, click Done at the very top right and then click Done again to go back to the presentation section. Once you're there, go to the bottom and click on the plus sign. Click on January Weekly. We now have our monthly view and our weekly view with the highlighted tab of January. Phew, all right, no more back and forth. We are going to remain on the presentation section to build our weekly view. So this took me quite a while, and it will take you a while to build the weekly view if you are not used to making your own templates before. But if you already know, this will be very simple. For me, it takes time anyways because I'm very particular and I'll look at things, I'll come back the next day and I'm like, don't like it, and I change it again. So in this portion of the video, what I want you to do is pause right here. What you're gonna do is build from your mind. Make something unique and that's just for you. Use all the tips that I gave you before and build your weekly view to your liking. try to make it as unique as possible, and I'll see you back with mine. And we're back. This is what my weekly view is looking like. I want to see what yours looks like. I am very, very curious to see how you built your weekly view watching my video. Please, you can share your pictures with me on Instagram. You can message me, DM me, share it on your posts, and tag me. I want to see what you've created. Okay, so now what we're going to do is select everything that we've done and group it. We're then going to tap and cut, and then we're going to go to edit slide layout and paste it under January weekly. So officially our weekly layout is done and our monthly layout is complete. What we're going to do now is copy and paste it for the rest of the months of the year. Since January is already complete, we're gonna now go to February, click on it and tap duplicate. We want 2 pages for each month, one for the monthly view and one for the weekly view. Now I'm going back to the January weekly, copying it and pasting it to the February weekly. Make sure that you're pasting it in the right place, which is why I definitely advise you to rename your pages as you go. If you don't, you might get confused and put the monthly view in the weekly view or vice versa. So now that we're done, click on done at the top left and we're back in the presentation section. We are now going to duplicate our weekly views 5 times. So we already have 1. Actually, we'd only need to duplicate it 4 times since we already have our first week. So we need to duplicate once, twice, 3 times, thrice, and 4 times, thrice. I'm so annoying. Now that we're done, go back to the monthly view and we're going to add our hyperlinks for each week. So at the top of your screen, click on the shapes icon and click on the square. We're going to make it into a thin rectangle and put it right on top of our week 1 text. We're going to then go to the paintbrush and make it see-through. So it's going to be an invisible hyperlink. So go to style, click on fill and make sure there's no fill, as well as no border, no shadow, no nothing. Then we're gonna go ahead and click on that shape, click on link and link to slide. We're gonna link it to page number 5. Now follow these same steps for the next weeks. When all the links are done, make sure you check your work to make sure the links are connected to the right page. Moving right along. So in the midst of making this video, I just thought about something that I want to add and also want to teach you guys to do on your own. So it's creating your own icons right in Keynote. So not adding an image, we're gonna make it with the tools provided to us in Keynote. Doing it this way keeps our file small and makes it export beautifully into a PDF. So what we're gonna do is go to the shapes icon at the top and go to that little magnifying glass. We're gonna search for a house icon or shape. So as you can see, we have this little house, so we're just gonna use what they have and go to the paintbrush, click on fill, and we are going to make it white and create a very thin border. And you can color it any color you want. This is just the settings that I am using for this icon, so do whatever you'd like. And we're gonna make it super, super tiny and put it at the top right corner of our finance planner. This home icon will link us back to our welcome page. The next icon we're gonna make is going to link us to our index page. So I want something that looks like a menu, sort of. So I'm gonna create this on my own. We can go back to the basic shapes and click on the rounded square. Make it super, super, super small, then copy and place them just as you see me doing here. Now select all the squares and click on the paintbrush tool. Change all the settings to your liking of how you want these icons to end up looking like. So this is the look I was going for, very simple and clean and out of the way so that it's easy for you to access other things in the finance planner. So here's a really quick tip. I want to show you guys how to save your icon so you can use it in other planners. Select all the squares and go to Paintbrush and Arrange. At the bottom, you'll see Combine Shapes. Click on the one that is all white. Then you see that you created a shape. Click on it and click Add to Shapes. Your brand new shape pops up in the Shapes icon under My Shapes. As you see, it's highlighted. So every time I click on it, my icon is right there. I do not have to recreate it into 4 boxes as we did before. It's already there. I can just change the settings and my icon is ready to go. So to add a link, click on the shape and click on link, then link to slide. The first button is for our index. So we're gonna link it to page 3. And our little house icon is gonna be linked to page 2. Now that our links are added, select the 2 links and cut them. We're gonna go into Edit Slide Layout and we're gonna paste them into every single page. Our weekly links can stay on that page because we're gonna do something with it later. So go into the Edit Slide Layout, go to each page and link your icons there. Once you're done, click on Done and go back to the presentation section. We are going to hit that play button and test out our brand new icons. They work. Alrighty, now we've been on step 8 for a minute, and I mean like a long minute. So we're gonna finally move on to step number 9. We're gonna create a monthly group. Now this is a very important step. It makes our lives super simple and easy when it comes to duplicating each month and the weeks. If you decide to do a finance planner or any planner with dailies, you want to pay attention because this is key in making sure that you do not have to copy links over and over again, making them link to different pages here and there. Keynote is going to do it all for you with just very, very simple steps, and I'm going to show you right now. So first, go to the last week of January, click and hold with your finger, then with your other hand with another finger, click on each week to tap and select all of them. You should have 5 slides highlighted in blue. Once you're done, use either your finger or your Apple Pencil to click and hold on those pages and go right underneath the monthly view until you see a little gray line. You'll know if you made a group if you see a little arrow that you can click on and it just absorbs the pages. So I'm showing you again, when you select everything and you click and hold on those weekly pages and drag it up, you see a little gray line. Moving it towards the right makes a group, moving it towards the left makes it a regular slide. Now that you've officially created a group, click on it and click on Duplicate. This is our February group. As you can see, when I click on the first week of February, it is linked to slide 11. That is what we want. We do not want it to be linked to slide 5 or 6. Those are for the January month. But for the new month, we need brand new links so that we do not go into December, for example, and we're linked back to January week 1. Now, in order for this grouping and linking to work properly, you must always duplicate the month of January. If you duplicate February, it's going to link the February months into March and the rest of the months. For some reason, you must always start with the first monthly group. This will ensure that the links work properly. Learn from my mistakes. So now that you have February selected, go to the paintbrush tool. Make sure that your layout matches the month. So for February, we're gonna click on that and make sure we're linked to the February monthly. Then you're gonna open your group, click on the weekly view, go back to the paintbrush and click on February weekly for each of those pages. So I'm gonna go ahead and select all, go to the layout, click on February weekly, and every one of the pages should be linked properly. So what I'm doing here is going ahead and selecting January and duplicating it 11 more times, or 10 more times because you already have February. And then I'm going to change the name, to whatever month it should be, and then I'm going to change the layout slide so that the highlighted tabs match that month. So now I'm just counting to make sure that I have 12 months of the year, and February is going to be at the very end because we duplicated January over and over again. So you have two options. You can actually drag that group up right after January and all the links will match accordingly, or you can just change the month into December, which is what I'm doing, which will be easier for you because you don't move it around and it doesn't get lost as you're moving it around. So you can just do that and then change the layout slide as we have been doing. And also remember that you'll have to change the text for each month. So make sure that you do that as well. As I always say, make sure that you check, double check, and triple check to make sure not only that your text is correct, but that the layout that you have chosen matches that month. So you don't want to have written July and August is the highlighted tab. So you're gonna have to make sure that everything matches, everything is going according to plan. So now that we're finished organizing all of our groups, you can close the groups. And now we're gonna move on to step number 10. We are gonna create the hyperlinks for our months. So this can only happen once we finish creating all the groups. So once again, we're going to create invisible hyperlinks. I'm in the month of January in the presentation section of Keynote. This makes it easier so that things aren't moving around. So as we did before, we're going to create invisible links. So you're gonna use a square and make sure that the fill is nothing. You have no fill. Once you've done that, you're gonna click on that box that you created, click on link, and then link to slide. This one is going to be linked to slide 4. This is the beginning of our month, so we want it to always go to our monthly view of January. Then what you're gonna do is just copy and paste and change the link so that it matches that group. What I love about groups is that there's not so many pages that you have to flip through. You can easily see that the first page is number 10. The first page of February is number 10. So you just look at it to the side, you put it in there. It's just so much easier to use groups. And I really encourage you as people who are creating planners, either for yourself or for somebody else, to use groups. It keeps things very organized and you make less mistakes. So as usual, after I've created all of my links, I'm going back and checking to make sure that they match. I'm looking at that month and making sure that it is linked to the correct slide. Once you're done checking, we're going to select all of those boxes we created and cut. We're gonna go to the edit slide layout and paste them onto every single page except the cover. So we're just going to paste into the monthly views of each month and the weekly views of each month, plus that first page's slide that we have. So every single page but the cover, we're going to paste it in there. Wonderful. Okay, so once you're done, click on the play button, and we are going to test out our links. I'm super excited to try them. Let's see if everything is linked correctly. This is also a great way to test out your planner. Sometimes even if you've checked, double checked, triple checked, there's still issues, and this is the best way to test them out. So we're looking at our links, we're clicking, the months are highlighted. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is gorgeous. I think that highlighted tabs are my new obsession, and being able to customize the colors just the way that you want, oh my God, it's just amazing, mind-blowing. And I just want to tell you guys, I'm super excited that you decided to do this tutorial with me, and I'm proud of you, and I'm so happy that we are making this together. All right, enough of that sappy stuff. Let's go on to step number 11. We are gonna build our welcome and our index page. So go ahead and click on slide number 3. This is our index page. You can organize it any way that you want. This is how mine is gonna look like. This is what my welcome page is gonna look like. Very simple. We're keeping everything very simple for the purposes of this video, but of course, feel free to organize it and style it the way that you want. Step number 12. All right, so in my index, I'm using the text boxes to create 4 different templates. I'm putting down bill tracker, money management, expense tracker, and also savings tracker. At this time, you can feel free to add as many templates as you'd like. For me, for right now, I'm just gonna do these 4. Go back to the paintbrush and make sure that you align everything the way that you want them to be, whether it's in the middle, to the left, to the right, however you want it to look. Click on the plus sign at the bottom and we're going to add a new slide. Click on the Pages slide. Then we're going to name this Finances. So right here, I'm just adding the same exact title from the index page. I'm just copying and pasting it into the new page and I'm naming it Finances. I'm going to put this in the center as much as possible, and this is going to be like a divider. Once you created your finances page, go back to index and link the word finance to that page. So click on the word finance, click on link, and we're gonna link it to page 4. Now I'm going to add another page right under finances and create a group. Click and drag until you see a little gray line underneath the finances page that's moving towards the right. Once you let go, it will create a group. We're going to duplicate this page for as many templates that we have. So we have 4 templates. We want to have 4 pages underneath the finances slide. If you're going to have a lot of templates, you can do what I'm doing here. You can make sure that you copy that template name into the page that you're going to link it to. So that way there's no confusion and you already know what's going to come first, second, third, fourth, and so on. Step number 12. Okay, so what we're gonna do on the presentation section is start building our template. So I only had 4, the bill tracker, savings tracker, money management, expense tracker. So I'm gonna be making this, and I want you to pause the video and do your own as well. And we'll be back to show off all our templates. All right, so we are back. Let's take a look at everything that we created. So I clicked on the play button as you saw, and this is our welcome page. When I click on the icon, I go to my index, and these are the templates I created. I actually added another template, but this is what the bill tracker looks like. This is what the money management section looks like. Then we've got the expense tracker, the savings tracker, and also the no spend challenge section. All right, so we're almost at the end. All we have to do now is export our PDF right into Goodnotes. So step number 13, let's export our finance planner. Click on the name of your planner and then go down to export. Click on PDF and then click on export. Then you'll see that it asks you to share. Go all the way down to Goodnotes. Open in Goodnotes and then click on import as a new document. So it'll show up just like this. So now you'll be able to flip through it, click on the links. Everything should be working properly. If you're having an issue, make sure that you're not in edit mode or drawing mode. Make sure that it's turned off so that you can properly click on all the hyperlinks. So that's pretty much it, you guys. If you made it through this video, you have successfully finished your finance planner in portrait mode. I'm super proud of you and so happy that you were able to make your planner with me. If any questions at all arise, make sure that you comment down below. I hope you guys enjoy your brand new planner, enjoy decorating your finance planner and adding stickers and making it just for you or even to sell. And I really hope that this video was helpful. Please leave your comments down below. You know that I always love reading your comments. And thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. As always, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that you get notified when I make new videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.